Ladies and gentlemen, have you reached a verdict?
Yes.
State of Tennessee versus Hernandez Govan, count 1. We, the jury, found the defendant Hernandez Govan not guilty in count 1 of the indictment. State of Tennessee versus Hernandez Govan, count 2. We, the jury, found the defendant Hernandez Govan not guilty in count 2 of the indictment. Ma'am,
Court's in session.
ma'am. Ms. Johnson, is this your verdict? Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your verdict? Yes. Is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your verdict? Yes. Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict?
Yes.
Is this your verdict? Is this your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I want to thank you for your service this week. You've done exactly what the court asked you to do, which was to sit, listen to all the proof, and come to a decision. You are excused. Thank you.
Jury's excused. Thank you.
Excuse me?
Go ahead, Your Honor. Court's still in session.
Mr. Hernandez Govan, the jury of your peers having found you not guilty of all charges, sir, you are free to go.
Thank you so much, Judge.
You're welcome. You may come off the record.
Court's in recess.
Hey, listen. So look, this is what I'm gonna say, right? Damn, not guilty. Hey, look, like I said, I like Dolph. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I fuck with Gotti too. You know what I'm saying? Like I definitely was bumping them cocaine musics and all that. But yo, it's just not every day you see a person, you know what I mean? And it's like they want it to be you so bad and you actually walk on that shit. And damn, bro, like I had a feeling though, like the case was weak. If y'all been following it, like I said, I wish even though like they got my channel on suspension for the week, I still said I was gonna do this shit like every day. I was gonna do the content, cover day by day of the case because I was doing like the Diddy joint week by week and all of that. And you know, I would be missing like little key points or whatever and shit, or just certain moments that I could have captured right there, like, you know, with predictions and all of that. And I kind of wanted to do that with this joint here. But yeah, man, you know, caught some trouble or whatever, really on some accidental shit. I'll do a whole breakdown video of what happened and how I ended up, you know, with my shit suspended. But not guilty on all counts. They didn't even book him on the underlying charges that the judge said that they could consider. But at the end of the day, I could say that the jury called this one right. Now, I don't know if that nigga really had anything to do with anything or whatever and shit. Who knows? You understand what I'm saying? What I do know is, based on the evidence presented, it wasn't strong enough to send somebody to prison for life or 100 years or some shit like that. You get what I'm saying? The would-be co-defendant turned snitch, Cornelius Smith, he was no help. And every witness that they called or whatever and shit, like the medical examiner, I mean, okay, you could tell us how much, you know, he got shot and just that it was ruled a homicide. So we know whatever that, yeah, there was an actual homicide and that's why he's being charged with it. But there's nothing that was like scientifically connecting him to the body. Not even the gun that was used. You understand? Even if you were going to use it to like pinpoint the weapon or whatever and shit, he wasn't one of the shooters. So like that's a dub. You call the all the police or whatever and shit, like the phone messages. The guy used to serve the nigga pills. So, you know, why wouldn't he have his number? And the dude Bobby in the mix, he introduced them, you know, and then supposedly Straight Drop supposed to be like a rapper or some shit. And Govan was, I guess, playing in some management type shit. Because his daughter was a rapper. Desto got bands or something like that or whatever. She got killed out in Houston not long after the Dolph shit. And then he had posted something saying like he feels like his daughter paid for his mistake that he made or the choices he made in his life. So that. What else? What else didn't add up? Then the officer who processed the car, like I mentioned yesterday, when I was covering day 3, nobody mentions anything, no hair fibers, no DNA, no fingerprints, anything belonging to Hernandez Govan. And supposedly Govan went to the white Benz and got Cornelius Smith phone out the car. So all of those things not adding up or whatever and shit, it's just like this. All I say is this, bro. If homie was involved in that shit, he did that shit like a gangster. Cause he's nowhere connected. Like he stayed low to the earth or whatever and shit. To the point that some people thought he was like locked up. Like they didn't know what the hell was going on with that nigga for a while. Especially when the judge told him to stop doing interviews. But damn, so they got another clip here. Of Govan and his lawyers talking to the press or whatever after the guilty verdict.
There you see Hernandez Govan's reaction. But now let's get some reaction from his attorney who's speaking right now. Let's go to that live.
I'm always on edge because there's cases I thought I would have won easily, and the jurors just get swayed by the publicity and the media. It's been so one-sided, calling him a mastermind. The press has been going crazy because only the DA talks. And that's the problem with our system, is because they make such a good first impression saying everybody's guilty that it's hard to get a fair trial. But thank God we got jurors. They took hundreds of pages of notes, and it didn't take them, 2 hours to figure out this was all garbage.
And they virtually echoed everything that he said in closing. And they were very critical that anyone could be locked up that long and didn't have the resources to defend themselves. The jurors said that. They echoed that. And the guy said, I am offended. I'm offended by this. And he said, and he was disappointed in Mulroy. And that's your elected official. That's my elected official because I live here. And you just go and do something. You called that testimony.
I mean, yo, it was hard to kind of like, I mean, I'm not on nobody's side. If I was gonna pick a side at all, you know, I'm for the underdog, system and all that. Because honestly, Dolph was a real nigga, and I think that Dolph wouldn't have wanted, the nigga who slid on him to be locked up forever and a day. I think he would rather see it go down the other way. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, like, keep going.
With Jesse Browning BS, a joke. Why?
Because it was. Half the stuff was just made up within a couple of days of this stuff, and they gave us this mystical receipt that's never been in any of the police reports. The jurors didn't buy it for a second. The lead investigator, Dabney, was incredibly honest when he said these are the mistakes that we made, and then you call up somebody that's willing to do or say anything to clean up the case to get a conviction. You saw how they shaded off the phone records. Where are the text messages? Where's any of that from Justin Johnson to our client saying we're going to do something? I presented hundreds of text messages where he's threatening people, trying to go shoot people with others. Govan was never in on any of it. And the fact that you're still asking.
I brought that up. You understand what I'm saying? Like yesterday or the day before. Like, well, when I was talking about them interviewing, well, when Jesse Browning testified about the text messages and all of that. And I was saying, like, there was nothing groundbreaking about Hernandez Govan texting something crazy, implicating him or tying him to this shit. You know what I mean? But they had, you know, Straight Drop and Cornelius saying all kind of shit. Like, you know, they gonna slide on this and do that and do this. So, you know, they had this one. The prosecution really made this shit too easy. I don't even know, like, if they presented this evidence, I don't know how a grand jury even let them indict.
These questions I find offensive because it didn't happen. You would never take anything you heard in that courtroom for any decision you would make in your life that has any significance. You would laugh at me if I said, believe those guys. So let's just keep it real. This is all garbage, and I'm grateful that he's out, and I'm sorry in the world that he had to do 9 months in prison. And I'm just grateful his fiance called me, and we have the resources to help poor people.
You were very passionate in your closing arguments about, about Govan being just a man from Orange Mound up against the system. Kind of talk about where that passion came from.
When I go to 201 and look at the people that are in there, I know a lot of people do wrong, and I understand that, and I don't want violence in the streets because I live, in towns as well. But it's just so wrong. If I can see it, there's no way a jury couldn't see it, and that's why it took, 2 hours to figure that out. I mean, obviously, it would have probably been quicker had they not had.
Damn, 2 hours. So I know they ended yesterday, like close to the end of the business day. I figured they probably deliberated a little bit that night, maybe went home or, got some rest and then came back at it. So,
to go through the evidence and do their job. But the fact that anybody in the press would say, oh, it was this or it was that, it was clearly flagrant, and I wish we'd be reported as this is what your justice is in Memphis. So if you're black and poor, you got a problem.
So this was
Mr. Govan, how do you feel?
Mr. Rohr, this
no lie there.
I was unclear with that.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
To finally have this stress.
I don't think I've ever heard this nigga like speak more than yes judge, no judge, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as actually seeing his face, I heard his voice on the joint with Stan G and all of that. But one day Stan G gonna get this interview now.
Taking off your shoulders.
Yeah, have my life back.
What's the first thing you plan to do?
Go hug my son.
Mr. Govan, you haven't smiled all this week, but obviously you have a lot to smile about. Just tell me just about what you're feeling in right now.
Like I said, it's kind of hard to explain the feeling of getting your life back, just from 12 people, so I'm just blessed, and I'm just ready to go see my son.
What was going through your head when you were waiting for the verdict this morning?
Nervousness, of course, it's natural.
Yeah.
But I got a team around me that was very confident and supportive, so without them, it wouldn't be no me. I just want to thank again, Manny, Robert, Haley, Beth, Handel, Contrell, Leanne, and just everybody that played a part in proving my innocence.
You heard your attorney say if you're black and poor in Memphis, this is what happens. What would be your words of advice?
Leave Memphis.
Do you plan on leaving Memphis, sir?
Of course.
Was there any point?
Now, I'ma say, yeah, I definitely would get the fuck up out of Memphis, bro, because you held court in the state, you beat it. Nigga might decide or whatever that they're gonna hold court with you in the street. They already got Jook ass. Now the question is, you know, the streets talk. Do they believe that you're really tied to all of this shit? Right? Now, you know how the streets work. Reasonable suspicion is enough of a reason to get a nigga killed. Nigga get killed for less. So I don't know, bro. Like this shit. But I mean, he should definitely get out of Memphis or whatever and shit. Especially like you stay in Orange Mound, nigga. That's the hood. Like you wouldn't be hard to find out there. So yeah, that would be the smartest thing to do. You know what I mean? It's just where you gonna go. Cause I mean, Dolph had love all over, and you know, it's tricky. I don't know. Maybe you should go to Charlotte.
Throughout the week where you're like, you know what, I'm still nervous, you know, prior to the verdict? Was there any point where it's like, I don't know which way it's gonna go?
I've been nervous for 4 years.
How does it feel to be at the end of this 4-year journey that you've been on?
It feels great. I just feel like I've been born again. I get a chance to restart my life and do some positive things.
Do you think that this verdict will change how the court system is working here in Memphis?
As corrupt this system is, I doubt it.
Mr. Orr, do you think this verdict will change anything with the court system here in Memphis?
I'm not here from Memphis, but if this is a microcosm of what's going on, then we should all be worried. And maybe we should be digging into these things and figuring out why so many people are in jail, why we keep them without bond and force them into pleas and things of that nature, and why investigations aren't always there. Thankfully, my office has the resources to help these types of people and can spend the money to do it. I can only imagine how hard it is for public defenders with their cases or other appointed lawyers that couldn't do this, and how many people shouldn't be in prison.
Oh, back in December, is that the reason? Obviously, you advised your client not to take that plea.
That's always his decision. I don't advise him to do anything. They always say, what would I do? And I'm like, I'm not serving the time, so I have no idea. I can't go through that stress. You can't duplicate that. I mean, I love the man. I believed in him. That's why I took the case. And we fought like hell for it. I'm grateful that the staff stayed with me. I yelled at them a lot this week and put a lot of pressure on them. We worked long nights for the last few months. We filed, I don't know how many, 24 motions, most of which were granted, which never happens. But it was so obvious we were right. And yet still we have a case. The government just can't ever admit that maybe there isn't anything here. They're just prosecute, and then blame the jury if it doesn't go your way.
This is breaking news.
So yeah, not guilty, all counts. And now, what happens next? You know what I'm saying? Because for nothing else, I wonder if they're gonna try to tie Gotti into this. But then shit, if they couldn't tie Hernandez into it, and he got whole pictures with Jook, and he directly connected to the shooter because he sold him pills, and the girlfriend's been over to the house, and he knows the Justin straight drop nigga, and all this shit. If they couldn't connect Hernandez with even all of those little coincidental facts, I don't really see them connecting Gotti to nothing. You know what I mean? Shit. They booked Black Youngster, whatever, in connection with the 2017 situation that happened in Charlotte with the 100 shots. And that shit got dropped. But yeah, man, I don't know. I kind of saw it coming. I don't want to say I just predicted it, but it felt like Dolph was gonna walk. Like the evidence was just really weak. Both the circumstantial evidence and the direct evidence or whatever didn't really corroborate each other. You know what I mean? The only thing or whatever for sure is the niggas who did that bang, 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 they smoked. They're cooked. They're cooked. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know now if Hernandez getting off or whatever he's going to throw or what that means for Cornelius Smith deal. Like if it was already etched in stone, whether or not he got a conviction for him or not. But he definitely fumbled the bag. So I don't know if like they'll try to find a way to trick him out of his position or maybe hit him with another charge because his junkie ass probably got one. Damn rat. But yeah, man. I guess congratulations are in order. You know what I'm saying? Long live Dolph, and best of luck to everybody involved in this shit, man. I ain't got no dog in the fight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not rooting for one side or another. I ain't want to see nothing happen to Dolph. That what eventually happened to him. And I never really want to see anybody, go to jail unless you use a rapo or, some weird shit. But let me know what y'all think about this verdict, man. Do you think that it's over? Do you think that Govan's still gonna have issues out here in these streets or whatever? Do you think that he's really gonna get the hell up out of Memphis? Do you think he did the shit and just, got lucky or whatever that the prosecution case was weak and he played it smart? Let me know, man. And as always, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that notification bell if you're really mobbing with the content. And as always, stay dangerous so you can be safe. It's your boy Daylight TV. I'm out.